Welcome to the second day of the 4th edition of the FITV Film Festival. Today we will have an assortment of some quite compelling films from 2030 to Gallution at Midnight. Be ready to have your definition of what a film can be utterly changed. We have prepared an incredible show for you tonight, and we hope you will enjoy. Have fun.
Our first film for today is by British filmmaker Christian Rushbrook. In his short, a janitor makes both a gruesome and terrifying discovery while working after hours.
Hey, what's going on?
Just a safety drill, Pete. Don't shit your pants.
Again? Third time this week.
That's a lot of times in 1 week to shit your pants. You know the drill. Go clear the toilets.
Fire drill. Line up at the courts. Everything okay in there?
Peter, are you all right, man?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine.
Look, I feel really bad about the way
I'm fine. Really.
It's good to have you back.
Thanks, Alan.
Here's my number. Just in case you need to talk about, well, anything really.
You don't have to.
No, seriously. I'm just around the corner. Grab a beer or chat. I'll lock up behind me. Have a good night, Pete.
Alan, you gotta help me, please. I'm stuck at the school. I've lost my keys. I think there's somebody else here. I think I'll go insane.
Calm down, man. First of all, I'll come and pick you up right now. Second of all, Marge is working tonight, isn't she? She works Tuesdays, doesn't she?
Marge?
Yeah. I'm getting in the car right now. I'll be there in 5 minutes. I think maybe a drink's in order here, mate, don't you?
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Owen. Marge, of course. Who else is going to be here this time of night? I didn't know you were working Tuesdays too. Marge? Marge? Oh. Anyone in there? Everything okay? I've got to get out of here. I can't be here. I think I'm going fucking insane.
All right, the car's just outside. What's going on?
Can we just go, please? I'll tell you more in the car. I can't be here anymore. I can't be here anymore.
Yeah, sure. Come on.
Come on, Alan, let's go.
Peter? Where did this come from? Where did this come from?
What the fuck have I done?
Our next film is by another British filmmaker named Cameron Carr. In this autobiographical short, Cameron Carr explains the life of an autistic man and his experiences with friendships, trials, and the use of unique coping strategies. I present to you Strange.
It's 1999. I'm a baby, an autistic baby. Here I am in my pram, hissing and spitting at strangers. I don't like people. But wait a minute. Here I am, surrounded by people. But not just people, though. These are my friends. So, what happened? Well, let me tell you.
Hey, dude! Want a free energy drink? One sip and you're addicted.
No, thank you.
What?
God damn. I don't like to be touched, but it's not always easy to get the words out when you need to.
He said he doesn't want any. I think he's alright.
The best part about forming friendships? Friends have your back. And with good friends, there's often good food. Loud noises are incredibly painful. And that's why I carry my headphones around. I'm not actually playing music, just a bit of clever noise cancellation. This way, I can just listen to my friends, and only my friends. Ah, Cash. Of course. Did you know bacteria, viruses, all huddle on the surface area like little microscopic aliens and monsters? It's also the reason why it smells so bad. That's why I've gone contactless. Because I know exactly where my card has been. In my wallet. With that said, despite the unpredictable nature of the outside world, it's sometimes nice to just go out and support your friends on special occasions like this one. He shoots, and he scores. Oh, sorry, I was just busy enjoying the game. Let's see here. It's not always easy to go out though. Some things just try to hold me back. With these kinds of techniques and support, I've been able to blossom with the other flowers. I want to remember all these good times with the friends I grew with, and yet my memories always seem to fly without me. That's why I use the tools to record art, people, things I'm interested in, with a pen or paper, or any other advanced apparatus. Or, in this respect, making this cartoon. My methods may be strange.
Our next film is by Canadian filmmaker Joshua Ralph. In his short, a trilobite undergoes some interesting and perilous adventures in the Devonian era. I present to you Trilobite.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Kwang Din, FITV Vice President.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
How
Mind
are
if I- Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, man. So, for this bit, are you ready to answer some 73 questions?
Yes, sir. All of them.
All right, perfect. So, where were you right before you saw me?
I was on bed. I just woke up.
True. What's the most exciting thing happening in your life right now?
The film festival is coming this weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
What should we expect from FITV this weekend?
The first great global film fest.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, can you show me what you usually do?
Yeah, sure. I'm making coffee for the morning.
Oh, we can't beat that.
Yes.
So, what is your favorite movie?
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill, why?
Yeah. Beautiful action and rich in content.
Very true. What's your least favorite movie?
Oh, the remake of Fantastic Four.
Why?
It's empty. It's nothing in it.
Yeah. What's your favorite character in a movie?
Hans Landa in Inglourious Bastard.
Favorite TV show?
Between Rick and Morty and Game of Thrones.
Favorite director?
Guillermo del Toro. He's making beautiful monsters.
Oh, okay. How come he's your favorite director?
Yeah, he makes dreamy monster, even though they're disgusting, but they're beautiful.
What's the most overrated movie that you've seen?
This you have to excuse me because that's gonna be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Wow, controversial. What's the most underrated movie you've ever seen?
The Shape of Water. They said it's a cringy love story, but I love it.
Yeah, very true. What was the last movie that you saw?
Coco.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
How was it?
So much emotion.
What was the first movie you ever saw in theaters?
Oh, Shrek.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Hey, me too.
Oh, that's crazy.
2002, that was crazy time. So what movie do you want to watch right now?
House of Gucci.
How
With
come?
Adam Driver and Lady Gaga. They have fashion and love, so it's nice. Crime too.
Perfect duo. Oh, actually
Yeah.
trio. So what movie/TV show would you like to live in?
I would want to be a part of Money Heist, a part of a heist, but don't recommend. It's good.
What do you love most about film?
That we can all be dreamers when it comes to film.
What do you think when people say that film is only for dreamers?
They're too serious.
What do you think should be more in films these days?
There should be more love and more space. I don't know why I love space movie.
What things should people stop making movies about?
Oh, that there's someone is trying to kill the U.S. president.
Very true. What's a movie that everyone should be watching right now?
Coco.
Is that your favorite animation?
Of all time, yes.
So superhero movies,
Of course.
yes or no?
Yes.
Favorite superhero?
Iron Man or Batman, they're rich, they're smart.
Favorite movie quote?
I just never left because it felt so damn good to be alive again in Marriage Story.
Ooh, hitting hard.
Oof, yeah.
Movie with the best music?
007,
Okay, pretty iconic. Longest movie you've ever watched?
Lord of the Rings, The Return of the Kings.
Ooh, how was it?
It was too long. I fell asleep. Not my favorite.
Thriller or comedy?
Thriller.
Action or romance?
Oof, that's tough. Action.
Besides film, do you have any other hobbies?
Yeah, I do photography.
Wow. What do you usually shoot?
I shoot people, fashion, street.
Tell me about your best photo shoot.
It was on a airport garage with ATC tower behind it and a mattress.
Wow, that's pretty aesthetic. Tell me about your first photo shoot then.
It was by accident actually in England when I was traveling.
Was that your most memorable one?
No, the most memorable one is a pilot with his wife and his little son. That's so cute.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
So what makes a good picture?
The story behind it.
Good lens or good camera skill?
Both.
What photo idea do you currently have right now?
leather from top to toe with semi-truck.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
That's also pretty aesthetic. Monochrome picture, yes or no?
You can never go wrong with monochrome.
True.
Yeah.
What's the most challenging thing to shoot, in your opinion?
Nude.
Is there a story behind that?
Well, yeah, I wasn't prepared for it, so I was a little hesitated.
Best tips for photography?
Don't stop shooting and use viewfinder.
Who are your models?
Everyone who is confident in their own skin.
Oh, do you shoot 35mm?
I do. I have one with me right here.
Oh. Can you give me a film shot?
Sure. Let me
Oh,
check.
let me pose real quick.
Pose. Yes.
Ooh.
Ready? In 1 and 2 and 3.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
So what's the hardest thing when shooting film?
That you cannot reshoot it, so everything must be in place.
True.
Yeah.
How are the results usually?
It's surprising because you don't remember what you shot.
Very true. So what would life be without film?
There's no life without film.
Film is love, film is life.
Yes.
Who inspired you to be a filmmaker?
All the filmmakers around me. FITV.
Aw.
Example.
We love you too, bro.
Yeah.
Who inspired you, or did your family inspire you to be a filmmaker?
Oh, they love films. My dad loved films so much.
Aw, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What movie hub do you wish to live in?
Probably LA.
If you were to make a movie, what would it be about?
It must definitely have fashion and love in it.
What would the hashtag be?
Hashtag bold.
Which one's worse? Being able to watch only one movie for the rest of your life, or never being able to rewatch a film?
Being able to watch one for the rest of my life because there's so many nice things out there.
Okay. Yeah. So what will never change about film?
That it always make you express your emotion.
What will always change about film?
Technology.
True. 21st century out here.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to be a filmmaker?
It means to be aware of what's happening around us and make a movie to make the situation better.
Do you want to become big in photography or filmmaking?
Both.
How long you been familiar with the camera?
A year and a half.
Would you rather be a cameraman or a director?
Right now, cameraman.
Where do you want to grow your career as a filmmaker / photographer?
Anywhere that I can inspire people.
Any advice for people who want to become a filmmaker?
Even when the world's against you, don't care about it. Just go against with other people. That's what makes you unique.
True. So how many years have you been with FITV?
2 years already. That's really fast.
What's your favorite production?
It was my first production. The If World War I was a bar fight.
True. Classic.
Yeah.
And how many film festivals?
Our next film is a homecoming story. Director Francesco Scalcione takes us on an introspective journey in which a young woman returns to her holiday home and reflects on memories of years past. Coming all the way from Italy, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you all, Equa.
L'ultima volta qui ero con mio nonno. Ciò che mi consentiva l'audacia di guardarlo negli occhi era che i suoi erano rivolti a contemplare un vuoto altrove. Non poteva vedermi. Io invece ancora vedo le mani grandi a cui le mie piccole si stringevano per guidarlo verso il mare, senza avvicinarci troppo. Una volta a riva persi un gioco tra le onde per afferrare la sua mano.
Under the sky to caress
continuavo ad imparare qualcosa, ad avere bisogno di qualcuno.
I hear you say I've come for you.
Ora ne ho solamente un bel ricordo.
Take you away. I am the sea. I am this ocean of life.
Il re di Troia affidò il suo giovane principe ancora in fasce ad un sovrano di terre vicine. Questi uccise il pargolo per accaparrarsi le ricchezze che i genitori gli destinavano. Poi ne buttò il corpo dalla torre del suo palazzo che sorgeva sulla scogliera. La regina trovò il cadavere di suo figlio sulla spiaggia, restituitole dal mare in tempesta. Lo vendicò strappando gli occhi all'assassino. È la storia di Ecuba e di Polidoro. Qualcuno deve aver scelto questi miti per dare i nomi alle vie del Lido in cui sono tornata, nella mia casa di via Priamo. Qui ho vissuto gli anni migliori, nell'incoscienza, scintilla della fredda fiamma della nostalgia. Non provo vergogna per il personaggio che interpreto, perché posso immaginare la buia solitudine su cui si affacciava mio nonno per salutarmi, sorridendo. I quadri nella stanza alludono a storie che innescano altre vite trasognate. Mi concentravo imbambolata sui personaggi ritagliati in stilizzate immagini primordiali. Il primitivo sguardo del cucciolo di essere umano. I miei genitori si sono sposati qui. Le ore afose dei pomeriggi d'agosto in case che non ho più visto. Le case degli amici. Rimanevo in ascolto, giocavo a fare l'adulta. Ho creduto di poter trovare un appiglio, una radice che mi spiegasse chi sono, che mi indicasse una direzione. Nel mare un legame in grado di levigare la mia forma, privandomene. L'altezza di queste madri, imponenti, in ginocchio, in lacrime, contro vento, mi riporta alla realtà. Scaglie di cielo pietoso. Sono tornata qui per riprendermi un paio d'occhiali, per la sirenetta di gomma a cui facevo fare il bagno nella vasca della casa in cui abitavo con mia madre prima che mio padre ci lasciasse, per un cappello. Volevo vederci chiaro, volevo la leggerezza e qualcuno che mi dicesse di coprirmi la testa con questo sole che picchia. Dove si nasconde ora? Nel rumore della ghiaia nel cortile, la macchina di mia madre, nei pugni sulla porta quando andava via. Se sei donna e non piaci, non esisti. Mi sono dovuta difendere nella finzione di un sorriso da Gioconda, nell'immobile altezza delle bianche statue. Spesso fuggo le possibilità nel presente perché mi trovo solo nelle cose perdute. Odore di una casa al mare priva di passi trascinati sui girasoli ingialliti del pavimento, delle grida di gioia infantili, dei mugolii di giovani gaudenti. Deserto per 9 mesi, spiaggia per i 3 estivi, a dominare l'orizzonte sociale. Tornare, nelle pozzanghere più grigie del cielo che riflettono, nelle conchiglie naufragate a riva, chissà dove erano prima, chissà dove saranno poi. Non ero mai venuta da sola nel lido svuotato delle presenze abituali, dei fatti raccontati sulla spiaggia che non lasciano tregua. Pandemia globale che poi è la politica all'ultimo ristorantino provato il fine settimana scorso. Il futuro delle generazioni condannate, sempre il futuro. Erbacce di ricordi si arrampicano sul presente. Temevo l'altalena volasse su nel cielo fin sopra le chiome degli alberi per atterrare sulla luna che pacificava i pomeriggi d'estate con la sua malinconia extraterrestre.
Our next student film depicts 2 Chinese students who are hell-bent on discovering the meaning of a mysterious message appearing on their television every night. Brought to you by Spanish director Martín Caínto San Martín, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you all Galician at Midnight.
新たに韓国とロシアでも新型肺炎に感染したとみられる患者が出ています。
Porcos. É o único termo que merecen eses hipócritas que non recoñecen cara onde imos.
この大学生に対し
Os recursos esgótanse. Todo isto vai nos acabar salpicando de cheo.
Iso é algo moi atrevido. Podería argumentarlo.
明天你去图书馆吗？
我明天下午去。
我和你一起去。明天见，苏英。
有更多关于这个人的消息，记得告诉我。
好吧。
你经常来这儿吗？
在这种情况，来校园里散步总比去游戏厅好啊。
你是树荫吧？我听说过你。听说你在电视上看到一个节目，里面说的东西你什么都听不懂， 而且就只能看那一个台。
差不多吧，我一点都听不懂。
这是在日本交流的最后一周啦，你差一点没有机会看这个节目了。说真的，我也特别好奇，等咱们回国，我要问问学通讯技术的朋友，这是怎么回事。但不管怎么说，我能去你家看下吗？
你是追那个原学家朋友对吧？你叫什么名字？
丽丽。走吧。
Iso é algo moi atrevido. Podería argumentalo?
As guerras deshumanizaránse. E non seremos conscientes dos males que nos veñan. Ou sí, e darános igual.
Estamos condeados, según o seu libro.
伊藤ハムのアルトバイエル
10% 増量中
Os campos morren, os desertos florecen. Con sorte, cando todo isto remate, comezaremos de cero. Con sorte.
一直都是这样吗？
Boas, rapaces. Sí, son eu, Xavier Beiras, o Capitán Mariñas na serie Perigo na Mariña e voz de algúns dos vosos debuxos favoritos. Hoxe quero vos falar de Arale Comics. Porque se non vos chega cos tebeos da terra como Fiz ou Golfiño, agora podemos mercar todos os mangas dos debuxos que saen pola tela. Ademais, gracias aos avances tecnolóxicos do 2002, chegaremos a todos os recunchos vía internet. Para máis información podedes chamar ao teléfono que aparece en pantalla.
你听得懂吗？
大概是个谜吧。但他在世界的另一边，都还想尽办法的让我们看到他，应该有很重要的消息要告诉我们吧。
你这家伙真奇怪。
明天见。
你怎么来了？
我说过了，明天见呀。今天就是明天了呀。
你知道现在几点吗？
现在是这个节目开始的时候。
Porcos.
这是词典中出现的内容，我觉得应该是一种地语言。我觉得他在讲灾难。这本书里讲了很多规避灾难的方法。
Boas, rapaces. Sí, son eu, Xavier
路他
Beiras，
我从来没听说过，在中国、日本都没听说过。有人想在世界播放这节目， 但世界真的这么乱吗？他妈的，都往坏的方向发展了，真得做点什么。
但是什么呢？
很多人都说关心、担心，但却什么都不做。他们只是看起来想改变世界而已，跟着大众的主流思想去表达对社会的关心，但其实根本没什么人真正行动起来去改变，像他们对待漫画一样。
不太明白。
日本漫画在全世界都很出名，但大多数人所关注的不是这种潮流，没有人真正关注漫画这种文化，也很少有人因此而关注他们的本地艺术。
所以你看，
你能透过这支点跟他们沟通吗？
我们必须要这么做。如果我们能找到鲁达漫画的信息，就可以知道书里讲了什么。不管是环境还是人道主义问题，我们都可以为这场没有硝烟的战争做出自己的一份贡献。
你确定你会说他们的方言吗？
它不是方言。
你知道吗？我真对咱们所做的一切感到骄傲。我们没有逃避，而是选择面对、坚持。
Bos días, Arele Comics. ¿En qué podemos ayudarle? ¿Qué? Manda carallo, xa están os raciosetes. E de tomar polo cu. Atacona xa das chamadas en chinés.
我觉得他生气了。
我好累啊，我们去卡拉 OK 吧。
好吧。
Pasado. As potencias mundiais dominan pantallas e estantes coas súas aventuras cheas de cores e monstros imposibles. Mentres, nós deixamos de prestar atención ao que ocorre tras esa capa de ficción. Isto non é malo en absoluto, sempre que os separemos da realidade destes imperios. Para atopar as causas e solucións ao fin do mundo, non temos que facer nada máis que atender ao que nos rodea.
to the next discussion. So today I'm here in the studio with Brandon,
Hello.
Judy, secretary of FITV, and actually we have something really interesting to talk to you guys about. Brandon, I know you have some very intense opinions about Galicia in a minute. I know I have some opinions on it. So why don't we start things off? How did you feel about this film? Did you like it, dislike it? What did you think?
I really liked it. I really found it compelling, and how it was put together. And especially like the structure of it, that's what really got me. Because it's not just a straightforward character piece. There's the mystery element to it, and of course, the characters aren't just in a movie. They're in a movie. They're watching, trying to find a TV show.
Yeah.
But that TV show, that TV broadcast, pardon me, is about comics, and that sort of one medium through another medium, talking about another medium. I found really interesting. It got my theory brain going.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. I watched it, and there were parts of it I definitely liked. I mean, the fact that it was Spanish, of course, appealed to me greatly. Yeah. But I was reminded very heavily of the movie Mother by Darren. I was getting very heavy Darren Aronofsky vibes from watching that film. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
it is very metaphorical and allegorical. Which is that's the kind of stuff that appeals to me. You brought up Aronofsky. I like his earlier films. His more recent work, I think, has gone.
Mother.
Especially Mother has become so personal that it's inaccessible outside of unless you are Darren Aronofsky. But I think this one is pretty broad. Its appeal because, it's taken this sort of quarantine time and instead of making a typical student film, has really turned inwards on the medium and is using it to sort of examine the contemporary nature of cinema, which is that as superhero movies. They're everywhere now. And this film is taking a very interesting look at it and using itself to sort of position it as like a dialogue between these mediums. And quite frankly, with how it's put together, it comes across almost like dialectical, and how there's it makes a point and there's a counterpoint, and it just sort of goes back and forth like that.
So sort of like a live ongoing conversation.
Yes, which is very good. I think that's very good for the medium.
Yeah. So my thing is, as much as I enjoy good metaphor, as much as I enjoy sort of surrealism within film, I'm a big fan of, I'm a proponent of realism. You don't always need to make something super realistic to draw a point home. I actually think sometimes going the opposite route, making things more theatrical, less realistic, can sometimes be more accessible for people. However, I believe once you push that forward past a certain point, like I mentioned Darren Aronofsky for a very particular reason, I'm a huge fan of the creative nature, like I was with this film. I love the creativity that went into it. It was so
meticulous.
So meticulous, so different. Aside from the fact that it was filmed in 3 different languages, I was super intrigued. However, I felt like maybe they pushed on the throttle too much when it came to the metaphorical, that it hindered the narrative and therefore made it inaccessible for sort of more masses as a whole. At least for me a bit. That's how I felt. That was one of the things I kept being reminded of as I watched the film.
Yeah, it's very much not meant to be literal, which can be challenging to first-time cinema watchers.
Yeah.
But what really, if you can get past, if you don't assume the events in it to be literal, like that, there wasn't an actual mysterious broadcast. About this author who honestly it was so realistic how it was conducted. I was convinced that they had pulled like an actual late 80s newscast about like the underground comic scene in Spain, which is of course if you know your Spanish history, late 80s is a very interesting time in Spanish history.
Of course.
And I think it is talking about and really sort of engaging with the sort of ideology of these films. It's for a student film to see that like thoughtfully written is rare.
So then let me ask you this. In terms of, not just in particular with Galicia and Midnight, but just films in general, do you think that it should be something that the director or the filmmaker thinks about is, am I going to push my metaphor, am I going to push my message into the surreal to sort of present it in such a way, even at risk of alienating my audience? Do you think that that's something that they should be mindful of, or do you think that we should just back the filmmaker and say, hey, you deliver the message however you think is best?
That is always a tricky thing to balance, right? I usually tend on the side of backing the artist, even when they make decisions I don't agree with. I think the whole movement behind the release, the Snyder Cut, I think is emblematic of that. I didn't like the creative choices behind either version of the film.
Yeah.
But I respect the artistic process that it shouldn't be meddled with too much from the studios. And the studios need to be more accepting of the fact that audiences are smarter than they think. Even though, like, they might not go for something like Mother or some of the works of, like, David Lynch.
Yeah.
But I think they can handle something a little more than good guy hit bad guy get girl.
I see what you're saying.
Like, remember, like, it was like I think it's 10 years ago now, like, Tree of Life was nominated for Best Picture, and that movie goes nearly completely abstract in parts.
I agree. I mean, another perfect example of that is if you take a movie like Life of Pi. I mean, Life of Pi was another film that, you know, again, it's a much more, shall we say,
traditional narrative.
Yeah, you know, it's a much more traditional narrative, but still, it's not like some of the big movies that you see. This is why I like the Oscars so much, because for me, cinema is, you know, it's so expensive, so different, and you can get different flavors of it. But I agree with you. I don't think we always need to be going for.
You know, it's good because this movie talks about comic books, and unlike the comics they come from, which are famous for having different, diverse styles, even in the same franchise for who's running the book.
Yeah.
The Marvel universe, I can't tell who directed one versus from the other. They feel interchangeable. If you wanted to, if they want to look for inspiration, I recommend looking at films from the Iranian New Wave of the late '80s and early to mid '90s, because that industry also has to look very inward because it's cut off from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And I think that's a vibe I also got from this film as well.
I agree. I like you said, it was an intelligent film. It was much different than ours. While we may disagree necessarily in how much they could have pushed that the metaphorical nature, I think we can both agree that, you know, it's a breath of fresh air in like the slate of movies that we got completely different.
Yeah, it definitely stood out from the rest of our submissions. Well, not to pick on it too much, but
of course.
Right, but I did like to think of this particular film as like a synecdoche for the variety of and all the films that we got this year for the FITV Film Festival.
I agree, man. I agree. So I'm glad we were able to sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
We might not agree, but hey, it was a good conversation.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I guess that was it. That was how we felt about Galician in Midnight. So yeah, keep watching, and yeah, I'm gonna turn it back over to the Film Fest.
Well, wasn't that something spectacular? No other film festival has ever been bold enough to really show what film can be like if the right people are behind it. We're only mostly kidding, of course, but this does mark the end of today's experience nonetheless. Tomorrow, we will be coming back with the Magic Day final submission and awards. We will return just like today, sharp and with zero technical difficulties at 4 p.m. EST. So be sure to tune in and check us out. We have been Florida Video Productions, and have a wonderful night.
Poolside with the Queen of Sheba. Now I've got the royal flush. Nothing in the world is sweeter. Got that sugar rush. I find a little spot in the shade.